Coming up on this fall edition of the Met Report, we take a look at the Occupy Wall Street protest that has spread across the U.S.
And the latest in the listeria outbreak on the Met Report.
President Obama pushes Congress for action on his jobs bill. Welcome to the Met Report. I'm Traci Johnson.
And I'm Melissa Teasdale. The president held a rare press conference Thursday morning during which he said time is of the essence for Congress to act on the bill that he says will put Americans back to work.
As the president pushes Congress for action, some protesters are also calling for change. For weeks now, people have been occupying Wall Street in New York City, calling for reforms in the financial industry. As the Met Report's Devin Von Miller shows us, the movement has even spread to Denver.
After nearly 2 weeks of relative obscurity, the Occupy Wall Street movement burst into the national consciousness this past weekend. These protests against corporate greed and the political influence big business holds have spread to all corners of the country, including here. As in New York, some people in Denver are protesting 24/7, living in a temporary village across from the state capitol building.
Specifically, I believe everyone has the basic right to health care, education, water, shelter, food, clothing, etc. So I'm going to use myself as a resource and the surplus that I have to help out with that.
The occupied areas are governed by general assemblies, where everyone involved gets a say in decisions. One thing most people agree on is that change such as this has been a long time coming.
We're waiting. We've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for it. As soon as it starts, it's going to start, and it's just going to go. And this is, I feel like this is it.
Whether or not this is it, the Occupy movement is certainly occupying many people's attention. Devin Von Miller, the Met Report.
Apple fans are being encouraged to make a fashion statement next week to honor co-founder Steve Jobs. Fans have declared October 15th Steve Jobs Day is the same day the new iPhone 4S goes on sale. People are being told to dress in Jobs' trademark jeans and black mock turtleneck. You'll be urged to tweet or Facebook thoughts on the inventor. Jobs died Wednesday at the age of 56 after a long battle with pancreatic cancer.
I'll be wearing my turtleneck that day for sure.
Of course.
The September 11th Victim Compensation Fund of $2.8 billion began taking applications this week. It gives $6 billion in total to victims' families and $1 billion to the injured. The fund is intended to help people who became ill after working at Ground Zero and others whose sicknesses can be tied to the site. Residents, workers, and others can apply, including those whose claims to the first fund were denied. Those applying have to show evidence of their diagnosis and time spent at the site. If an illness is added to the program, people suffering from that illness will be permitted more time to apply. The deadline for applying for help is October 3rd, 2013, or 2 years from the time a person learns that a physical injury or sickness resulted from exposure to Ground Zero. The program will run for 6 years.
Maintaining a steady diet full of fruits and vegetables can keep you healthy, but now it can also kill you. A bacteria called listeria has created quite a scare in the United States and is the worst outbreak in 10 years. According to Channel 7 News, the outbreak has been linked to tainted cantaloupes from Colorado-based Jensen Farms and is responsible for 18 deaths and 100 infections. Listeria is unique because it can continue to grow at low temperatures, so it is important to wash the skin of any fruit before eating. Those with compromised immune systems are at the greatest risk and should make sure to see a doctor if flu-like symptoms occur.
Animal rights organizations are in Denver this week protesting the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circus. Nina Databoy went to the Denver Coliseum to get both sides of the story.
They really are bonded to their trainer.
Thanks, Tracy. Thanks, Melissa. That's right. I'm outside the Denver Coliseum where the circus is in town, but there's quite a circus going on out here as well. Last week, the Ringling Brothers Circus opened its show Barnum and Bailey in Denver, and while it's fun for all ages, some people aren't clowning around.
And I work to protect elephants both in the United States, in the abusive use of them in the circus and in zoos.
But the animal care specialist for the Ringling Brothers had something different to say.
All the animals, whether it's elephants, horses, tigers, camels, receive plenty of fresh food and water, plenty of exercise, and it just depends on the environment that they're in.
Now the protesters plan on being back in front of the Coliseum every night the circus is here, with shifts planned daily until its final show on October 9th. For the Met Report, Nina Databoy.
I remember going to the circus when I was little.
I love this circus, except certain clowns kind of scare me, honestly. I'm not a clown person at all.
Yeah, they're pretty scary.
Yeah. When we come back, the reason the phrase bless you is getting students at one school in trouble.
And the trial of Michael Jackson's doctor continues. The latest from the courtroom next.
Later, you'll get the latest on fall TV premieres.
I'm Laura Griffith, and so you don't waste your time figuring out which is which, I'll take you through a few of the shows so you can spend all your extra time watching the TV you should be watching.
Believe in yourself, realize that anything is possible, keep your eyes on the prize.
When you're at your weakest point, grace can rise up and pull you out.
So I felt like I was filling a void.
Even when I'm faced with difficult situations, I can always find something to smile about.
Little simple ways. I mean, there's really lots of things you can plug into.
The trial of Dr. Conrad Murray presses on concerning the death of Michael Jackson, continuing this week. Authorities contend that he gave the singer a lethal dose of the drug in June 2009. When the trial began last week, the prosecution presented evidence to convince the jury that he is an unqualified physician. This week they go after his character, bringing in his current girlfriend and two of his mistresses to testify. The defense states that Jackson self-administered the drug and caused his own death, while allies of Murray rally in support of the doctor.
A man in Knox spent 4 years in prison overseas, and now she is finally back home in Seattle. She was released from prison this week after the Italian judicial system lacked DNA evidence to convict her. She is suspected after her roommate in Italy, Meredith Kircher, was brutally murdered in 2007. The case remains unsolved. After arriving in Seattle, Knox stated, quote, "What's important for me is just to say thank you to everyone who's believed in me, who's defended me, and who's supported my family."
Well, California is always in the spotlight with Hollywood, but this time it's something for a little different. A teacher in California is taking off points from students' grades when they say the phrase, "God bless you," calling it an unnecessary distraction. This has sparked a debate throughout the nation. The Met Report wants to know, what are your thoughts about saying God bless you? You can tell us on our Facebook and Twitter pages at The Met Report.
College students are finding a new way to get some extra cash. Met reporter Leanna Duarte has more.
Sugar daddies. People may joke about them, but they exist. People who are out to spoil what they call sugar babies. It's a trend that's gained national coverage for its risque idea of pampering these babies for favors in return. SeekingArrangement.com is just one of many websites that encourage these services and encourage the controversy that goes right along with it.
I'm selling my hotness, so got it, flaunt it. If I can flaunt it and get paid for it, why not?
Now they're targeting college students. For the sugar mommy or daddy, it provides a companionship. And for college students, it provides them with the financial stability they are seeking.
I'm a busy girl. I don't have time to necessarily go out and try to find guys and date. So this site allows me to also find men to date as well. They just happen to have money.
Brandon Wade, the founder of SeekingArrangement.com, had this to say to HLN about why he encourages college students to join his site.
But over the years, more and more college students started joining the website. I mean, there was an explosion in just the last 3 years alone. So I decided, well, it's time to focus on this niche market space where, since a lot of college students are increasingly getting into debt and need help with their bills.
We asked Metro students if they would be on board with the idea.
The whole thing is something that should be intimate and special, and just throwing it out there is definitely not either one of those.
Yeah, that's something that I would have to stay away from. Yeah, it's kind of getting close to prostitution.
For the Met Report, I'm Leanna Duarte.
And we're back with Justin Taylor, the general manager of Met Radio, and we hear there's a college radio day coming up soon. Tell us about that.
Well, Tracy, College Radio Day goes down next Tuesday, October 11th, in the Tivoli Commons, and it's a national event going on around campuses around the nation, and the purpose is to showcase, or at least highlight, the importance of college radio relative to artists that are trying to come up in the business, because commercial radio gets a lot more play, and once you're a commercial artist, you get a lot more play, and people that are trying to get into the business don't have as much opportunity. So it's my job and all the other campuses around the nation to give people, local artists, their time to shine.
Sounds great. So what about someone who maybe wants to get involved in Met Radio? What could they do?
The best case scenario is to come by the Tivoli, room 313, talk to myself, talk to Liz Norberg, talk to anybody in the office, stop anybody in the office and say, hey, I want to play for College Radio Day, and whatever it takes, we'll probably massage the schedule to get you in.
Oh, sounds great. All right, well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
After the break, we offer a review of some of the hottest shows and which ones are must-see TV. And as we head to break, here's a look at your forecast. The Met Report will be back in a moment.
Hey Metro, this is Hassan Shah giving you the mile-high scoop on what goes on in Denver.
And I'm Annalisa Blanco, your inside source to everything in Hollywood.
Entertainment is your connection to the hottest celebrities, whether it's in Denver or Hollywood.
So make sure to check us out every week on Met Radio and the Met Report. Also, follow us on Twitter and become a fan on Facebook. We'll see you on campus.